What Reddit culture is so annoying or straight up fucked up? The need to have an emotional hook for each post. Build this for my girlfriend who lost her job 5 years ago. Or I bought this for my blind brother with one leg after mowing lawns. So many posts are so contrived, scripted, or plain made up to maximize karma. People who ask for opinions and advice, when what they really want is for their own point of view to be agreed with. That's just Reddit in a nutshell. Every post on Reddit follows this formula of a title that makes them sound like an asshole and then a post that redeems them in every way possible. Reddit, Ida for kicking my disabled neighbor in the nuts? Okay, I know it sounds bad but hear me out. He was coming at me with a knife shouting racial slurs and I panicked because I have a history of PTSD from military time and also has not actually disabled. Today, somebody asked a question, I answered it correctly. The answer was 3. Some guy disputes it telling me it is 4. I explain it more clearly and ask him where he saw it was 4. He then edits his first comment, changing it to agree with me, maybe he just googled the answer I don't know, and then acts all confused as to why I was correcting him when they already agreed with me. I've noticed people writing edit a word when in reality they've completely changed the premise of their argument. Might be cool if there were an option to see a comment's history. Why do people do that anyway? Whenever I make a simple spelling or grammar mistake I just go and correct it. People giving advice that have no relevant life experience. Look at most of the posts in relationships. People who comment on news stories before actually reading them. I hate that shit. Saying before they read them incorrectly assumes they will ever read them at all. Our attention spans are so short now, we're always expecting someone to put a TL, doctor in the comments. Why waste time say lot word when few word do trick? Confusing fiction with reality. Half the stories on Reddit and Ramathiasol read like fiction and should be taken as such. Definitely getting tired of all of the stupid sex stories on Reddit. But the only ones that get upvotes are sex tiffus. Recently saw a pretty good, believable, non-sex tiffu. It had a lot of awards, but only like 60 upvotes while sex thing above it had 23k upvotes. Yep, it's really unfortunate that it's just become basically that. I'm about to unsubscribe but I keep holding out for the regular stories. I wish they have a no sex related duck up day. Or just a sub without the sex related stories. It could be called something like Timu, today I messed up, or TC, today I screwed up, and have a rule that bans sexual stories. Everyone sounds the same. True, I even have a special Redditor voice in my head when I read the comments. They all look like they've been written by the same person with 93,828,288,282 accounts. The revenge, karma, comeuppance style subreddits and their transparently made up stories. I do believe at some point most of the stuff there was true, but at this point I instantly disbelieve anything posted there. People that think they're psychologists, goddamn they need to chill. The kid just didn't help you get up after you fell, Hess not a sociopath. They watch a couple of TV shows and anime and then think they can fight crime and end world hunger. It's true though, I watched Steins Gate and can now time travel. The subreddit system is pretty nice and creates a place for niche hobbies and topics to thrive, but it also creates hive minds and echo chambers. Karma whoring, dude. It's pathetic. Darrow Booby says hello. He who must not be named has been mentioned. Lol, I don't think I could vaft up his name any farther without it being unrecognizable. Just the thought of him makes me verp a lil bit. Hasn't he legitimately made a career out of karma whoring and reposts? Redditors believing they are any different from users on other social media. Edit, rephrased by adding users on. If someone makes a thread asking for an example of media, movies, music, etc., people get downvoted for answering honestly if the thing they hate is popular. Hating things that everyone regularly talks about hating gets upvotes. I hate Geely. +1k yes you ducking do. We all do. These threads are a self-defeating abomination. Conversation doesn't happen. The fact that people say people deserve to die for minor offenses. There was this one post on Reddit cars where someone had a seizure while driving and people said he deserved to die because he should have eaten more breakfast as he knew he could have seizures from not eating enough. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes like they've never made a questionable decision in their lives. People on here often have like no mercy at all, it's almost comically hilarious sometimes. Like you said, we all do stupid shit sometimes. We don't deserve to die for it. I know that it's not a phenomenon exclusive to Reddit, but Reddit can be awful for it. Viral lynch mob culture. Somebody will post rage bait with little to no context. Remember that burger place that had an accidental spill getting doxxed and the staff receiving threats? The Boston bomber debacle? And everybody will absolutely dogpile the wrongdoer. I'm not talking about mean words on the internet, I'm talking of doxing, death threats, losing your job, family, literally tearing their life apart for what could have been a one-time moment of madness or a mean tweet. The problem is that, even if they're completely unrelated to the situation at hand, everybody needs to feel like they've received their own personal slice of justice. Times that by thousands of people and your life is essentially ashes. In many cases the mob victim will have done something truly shitty, but the punishment is usually always shockingly disproportionate to the wrongdoing. Reddit has this thing that we believe that somehow Reddit is basically the pinnacle of the educated and enlightened. Honestly, I see Reddit as just below Twitter in how dumb and crazy people can get. Depends on the subreddit. Reddit is good for sorting its users in ways Twitter doesn't. Rask historians versus teenagers. Indeed, different subs attract different types, in addition to which each sub evolves to match the behavior of the clientele, and within that sub will form a behavior pattern that matches the general personality types drawn to that content. If you yourself live within only a small group of subs, then you will likely conflate the behavior and opinions there to be how Reddit is. This is the same pattern as Facebook feeds. What you see is a representation not of the site, but of the people you have come to surround yourself with. You are in a bubble of your own creation. Therefore, the people who think Reddit is all edgy teens are likely only visiting areas of the site where edgy teens visit, in the same way that some people complain that Facebook is all insert stereotype behavior. This isn't the site at fault, but the people that they have on their friends list. It always makes me smile when I read people complain that Facebook is full of people who just post pictures of their meal or whatever. No, Facebook isn't like that, your social circle is. Despite being self-proclaimed open-minded people, Redditors seem to sexualize so many things and then get on a puritanical high horse when they don't understand other cultures' views on nudity and/or sex. I feel like 90% of AskReddit threads are sex-related, as if a bunch of horny teenagers are just trying to get people to talk about sex. Women of Reddit, have you ever done the sex with another person who also likes sex? If so, please post pictures. My friend told me I should post this thing I made here. My girlfriend said I should post this picture, so Reddit, meet my good boy. You don't need to pretend that you are a reluctant poster who is only sharing because you were urged to do so by a loved one. No one thinks you are modest or above it all, or even that you have loved ones that really want you to use Reddit. When someone gets downvoted to a certain extent, people appear to pile on. Someone can be making a pretty obvious joke, and their later comments might even explain this and be upvoted. But a couple people misunderstand the original post up front, and that post is then absolutely ducked forever. Once people smell weakness, they love to pile on. It's kinda disturbing, like a mini version of Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. If Reddit actually mattered, it'd be scary. Basically, once you hit -3, you will never recover because the pile-on effect is so strong. Definitely, there is like a downvote momentum that is unstoppable if the first few votes are negative. It's like if someone sees a comment they would be on the fence about, the negative score nudges them toward the downvote. The bullying brigading of mind is incessant here. There's a huge lust for revenge, and the most incredibly entitled responses I've ever seen is Ramathias hold the advice and there are so toxic and one-sided and always never leaves room for any sort of reconciliation. If those people with the highest participation points in that sub were Policians, absolutely nothing would get done and we'd have a couple wars already. It's like they want to stay angry and vengeful over petty differences forever. 100% one of the reasons I love Recopypasta so much is the running gag making fun of how ridiculous Rita is. You would love Ramathy Angel then.